Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be making this style of Zara cap, and the things I will be needing are the candlestick, chest wording, the thick one, and I will need scissors of course. I will also need the candle gun, that's the hot glue gun. Then this is called marker. I'm going to be using the very light marker, and then I'll be using my tape for measurements. I'll also be using a flowered satin. So the size of the marker, which is the height I'm using, is 3.5 inches, and that's because of what I intend to create. And the length is 26 inches for the marker. So I'll be using 26, height 3.5. It's a very easy one. So what I need now is to measure the fabric to wrap the marco. So I have 8 inches. Remember the marco is 3.5, so 8 inches will be too much. So I'll just cut a little bit out of the 8 inches. I don't want the fabric to overlap, so I'll cut out of it. And then I'm going to be using the hot glue to wrap it. But while doing that, I'm going to also ensure that as I wrap the face, because where I'm wrapping, folding the fabric in now, is going to be the inner part of the cap, and it's also going to be covered. But the face, which is the front view of the cap, is the part facing down right now. So you are supposed to ensure that it's very smooth. So while doing the glue work, you have to try to pull it hard to ensure smoothness on the face, because that part is very important. You don't want it to get squeezed. All right, so I'll just ensure my wrap is perfect like you see it now. I'll cut off the excess fabric, and then I'll bring the two face together, or should I say the edges. I'll bring the edges together. I don't want to lap. You can actually lap it, but for this particular method, you don't lap. You can lap if you are going to put roses behind, if you are going to put bow ties behind. But if you are going to use this method, please do not lap. Just hold it together the way you see me holding now. Use a very thick thread and then sew through it. So after sewing it, you will need to use your hot glue to flatten it down. So when you apply the hot glue, just hold it in position for some time. Allow the glue to cool down on that particular position where it is flat, and the cap will be flat. So look at how it's looking now. So it will be time for us to cover the cap, as in cover it up. So what I usually do, it's not the only method you can use. Other persons have their method. What I do is to put the fabric on top of the cap skeleton, and then press it down to get the depth of it, and then I'll trim it with scissors. So I have to ensure that even as I'm trimming now, the depth that I want is maintained. You don't just trim a circle, but I push it in to get the depth I want before trimming it. So if you ask me what's the size of, I don't know the size. I just push it in and then get the depth and then trim before I start using my hot glue to fix it. So for me to glue this cap to cover it, what I usually do is that I'll first of all hold down four parts of the cap. So that's holding the fabric down in four different points. Let's just say north, south, east, and west position. So when I hold it down like that, I now try to fix the remaining ones within the given space, because if you do not fix the entire fabric inside, the cap might become tight. So you just have to ensure that you are able to tuck in every part of this round uh, satin into the cap to form the cover, and you have to do it systematically. If not, it will look as if it is too much to fit into the circle, but it's not really too much. So you have to manage how you fix it into the circle. It's very important. So now will be the time for us to prepare the design. And to do that, I have 5.5 inches fabric on a fold, and is already sewn. So it means it was about 11 inches before it was sewn, or 12. You understand? So 12 by, say, 60. The fabric should be like 12 by 60. On a fold, you have 5.5. Hmm? Then I'll just turn it out, and then I'll fix the chest wording into it. Now, this aspect is a thing of choice. Do you want it so big? You don't want it to be too big? It's a thing of choice. So the chest wording I have is about 6.5. If you want it very big, you can do 10. Yes, you can do 10, because You are going to fold it and fix it into the fabric. And also, if you like, that's why I said the design is a thing of choice. If you like, you can have two different stripes. That is what I'm preparing now. You can have two different ones and then roll it across each other and place it on the Zara cap. But if you don't, if you want to follow the pattern I have now, I did not use two different ones. I used just one. And then the size of my design is also very moderate. But like I said, if you want it big, you can do 10 or you can do 12. You understand? Then it will be very big. And then when you roll over, you'll see that big look, especially if that's what you are looking for. Remember, I'm just teaching. So when I teach, I do some of my videos for the purpose of illustration. You can improve on what you see. So to create the turn or the twist is a different type of twist anyway. I started by fixing a part of the stripe to the Zara cap, and after which I use my needle and thread, and then I keep turning. I'm not going to fasten this video because I want those that are beginners to be able to understand what I am doing. So I'm not going to fasten it. All right, so now the cap, every thread movement and every form of rock work I need to do is inside the cap. So you can see the movement of the thread. You can see the thread showing in a lot of places, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to cover it up again. Just watch the way I'm just twisting it. And what is keeping it in place is the thread I'm using to hold it from inside of the cap. That's what is keeping it in place. Now, one thing I should make clear is that you cannot do this twist and start holding it down with hot glue. It will be too rough. Sometimes the hot glue might not really be hard enough to keep your twist in place. So I will advise that use your thread and needle the way you see me using now, and you will get a very good result from it. All right, before I proceed, I just want to use this medium to welcome all those that are just discovering Creative Ends International. Yes, so I welcome you. I welcome you. I'm welcome you. I do training in everything that has to do with uh, head fashion, ranging from turban, auto gele, fascinators, art, just name anything that has to do with head fashion. The only thing I'm not doing here is wig. I I I make wig, but I don't add it to my video. Yes, because I just feel that is a different aspect entirely. But everything that has to do with the head, be rest assured that I make them. Yes. And also I give privileges to my subscribers to be able to get direct contact with me. They can chat me up, can ask me questions, they can send me videos of what they want to learn, and I'll make videos on them. Like what I'm making now is because few of my subscribers ask for it, and for me, nobody is less important. So I always, if you've asked for something and I'm yet to fix it, just know that time, time, time. A lot of requests are lined up, and I just try to pick them one by one and attend to them. If I'm yet to attend to your own request, don't be discouraged. I will. Just give me some time. And if you are thinking I have forgotten, you can resend your pictures. You can repeat it as in send it again. All right. So you can see the way I am twisting and then sewing. That's just all it takes. So no matter how big it is, it will work the way you see me doing it now. Is that okay? And I said before that you can also double it up if you so desire. One more thing I forgot to remind everyone here to please subscribe to my channel after watching today's video if they are yet to do so. All right, so this is just it. I am done fixing it. I'm just trying for you to see the thread I used in sewing, that all the thread they are showing within that inside the cap, but it's not a challenge because I will be covering it. I will be covering it. So now for the back finishing, I would like to also explain that aspect, because if you don't know how to finish it up, it might want to give you some form of challenge. So what I'll do is, you've seen me remove the excess chest wording, and then just the fabric is left. Of course, you can sew, cut it off, make a separate design and cover, or you can just stretch it out like this, then hem it, and you have covered it. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this excess fabric now. I'm going to use it to I'm going to use it to create a bow behind it, just like this. Then also you can add embellishment to it. You can add your embellishment to it. So if after creating the bow you feel like adding any form of patches, you can do that. So for you to add embellishment is a thing of choice, but because I'm making a tutorials, and also this work is not for any of my clients, I'm just making it, it's for the purpose of the video. I did not add any embellishment to it, but you can add to your own. So like I said before, I told you that I will be covering the inside so that the rough work will be covered. You can use same fabric to cover. You can use any other uh, attractive fabric inside also. Whenever I'm making Zara cap, I always work with two different colors of fabric, something very nice inside. I like it like that. I always like to give it a good finishing. And I don't use same fabric, but if you like, you can use same fabric. So you can use a plain blue, you can use a black, you can use a plain white. I just chose this particular one. You understand? Creativity has to do with the mind. What you think we speak, what you think we create a positive impression of your work is what you always have to look out for while you do your work. All right. So I think the remaining part of this video would not really need any form of explanation. So I think for now, I will be telling you bye. All right. So I just want to make a disclaimer. The picture I'm going, the picture on my thumbnail, that's the first picture you are seeing, is not my work, so that you don't like. I just use it for um I just use it for, what do I say now, for you to see the style I am making. And that's because I made this video at home. I don't really have enough accessories with me so that I can make or take good pictures for my thumbnail. So that's why I'm using that for the thumbnail. So it's not mine. Yes, it's just a disclaimer. But the work you see me doing now is my work. All right. So for now, I will be saying bye. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.